Hey, good evening. Saturday night. I'm not going to say live from New York because that's reserved for another Saturday night, another Saturday night broadcast, and it's not this one. I'm Mark Carlin, the Results Hypnotist, and thanks for being here, spending some time with me. I've been going over the ins and outs of smoking and stopping smoking and how your mind works. All of our minds work in pretty much a predetermined way. There are certain requirements that our mind is looking to accomplish. There are goals that we have that we want to achieve, and these are the things that keep us doing the behaviors that we've programmed ourselves to do. It's a very simple process of how we program our minds. Most of the difficulties that we have are the result of our earlier programs, the programs that we installed or other people assisted us in installing. Most of that happened haphazardly. We really didn't know what we were doing. All it really takes in order to program our minds is repetition. So we do behaviors consistently and regularly. That consistency and regularity of behavior creates a habit, and habits are there for our comfort. They're there to make life easy for us. And unfortunately, because we create these habits haphazardly, we don't really focus necessarily on doing things that are beneficial for us. We just kind of fall into these behaviors, and we do them to make things simple and easy. Sometimes it's just a matter of an immediate gratification that we're looking for, rather than long-term improvement or long-term gratification. We'd rather have something quick and consistently that we could count upon, rather than look forward to something that we can achieve sometime in the future. And that's how we program ourselves. That's how we program our minds. In the case of smoking, we developed this smoking behavior. I mentioned it in one of the earlier videos. If you haven't seen those earlier videos, they are on Facebook. They're also on YouTube. I've been doing these Facebook Lives now for maybe 6 days in a row. 6 days. What would it be? What would you feel like if you had done something new, like not smoking, for the past 6 days? You probably feel pretty good. Well, I do feel pretty good. I feel pretty good that I've consistently started doing something on a regular basis, and I've kept with it. That's a good feeling. It's also somewhat of a chore, so to speak, because I know that I've made an effort in my mind. I've created this desire to do this on a regular basis. And it is easier for me to avoid and not do it than it would be to do it, to set this whole thing up. Today I just relaxed a little bit. I'm just hanging out. Excuse me, hanging out and enjoying a Saturday evening. And in the back of my mind, I knew I needed to do this because I set a goal to do this. The same type of mindset needs to be acquired and put into place if you're looking to stop smoking. You need to hold yourself accountable, and you need to follow through. Now, I'm enjoying this, and it is an enjoyable little endeavor for me, and so I'll continue to do it as long as I can. And I'll be happy with the results. So today I wanted to discuss why stopping smoking, why a stop smoking process is hard. And the reason why stopping smoking is hard is because we've created a habit. We've created through consistency, through this regularity of doing this ritual of smoking, through feeling, getting good feelings from smoking. We've created these good feelings in our mind as a result of smoking. We've been using it to calm ourselves down in most cases, or to rebalance, or to take a break. There's usually a good feeling associated with this behavior. There's also a good feeling associated with other things that we've become habituated to. For example, I don't know how many people know classical music. I'm not a great fan of classical music. It is comforting. There is a classical piece written by a gentleman by the name of Beethoven, and I think it's the Fifth Symphony. And the very famous piece starts off with this da 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 da. Pardon me for my voice. I didn't mean to scare anybody with my beautiful, wonderful vocal qualities. But that little segment, that little phrase, musical phrase, is very well known. And if you know that phrase, you'll notice that if I were to create that phrase and leave off the last part, you'd probably be a little bit disturbed by it. If I were to go da da da, if you're sitting there waiting for me to go da, finish it off, that's the urgency that's developed when you don't follow through on a habitual process. It's a little bit off. You kind of want that last part of that musical phrase. It's almost like it's an imperative that you got to finish that. So there's an urgency to complete something. Same thing happens when we smoke and we stop smoking. You're used to this behavior in some way. Either it's because the time is right. Every day you've developed this habit of smoking at a certain time every day, or after a certain thing happened, like getting out of the car, you smoke cigarettes, or getting into the car, you'd smoke a cigarette, or arriving at work, you'd smoke a cigarette, or before work, you'd smoke a cigarette, or after a meal, or with a coffee. We create these associations between doing one thing and another. And when we stop doing the other, which is, when I say one thing and another, I'm talking about the other thing, in this case, is smoking a cigarette. And when you stop doing that other thing, when you stop doing that smoking, there's a trigger and there's an expectancy that that other thing is going to happen. And when it doesn't happen, it causes some discomfort. And that discomfort, depending upon how much you really need that, and it's not a physical need, it's really mostly an emotional need. Because when you smoke, you're actually relieving some kind of an emotion, because you're feeling better than you were before. So whatever is causing the disturbance emotionally is being addressed through the ritual of smoking, which gives you a much better feeling than what you were feeling before. So now you're feeling not so good, and there's something else going on. Maybe you just finished a cup of coffee or having a cup of coffee, and you normally have a cigarette with it. There's an urgency to have that cigarette. And when you deny yourself that cigarette when you stop smoking because you're not a smoker, there's this discomfort that comes about because of that. You're looking for that final musical phrase, like in that Beethoven Fifth Symphony phrase. So you're moving out of your comfort zone, which is something we very often don't really enjoy doing. That's why it's moving out of your comfort zone. There's a bit of discomfort there. Now, if you've ever achieved any level of success, you know that all success comes when you move out of your comfort zone. So you have to accept before you start your quit. I was going to say before you start your stop. Before you start your quit, you have to accept that there's going to be some level of discomfort. And you need to change that discomfort in your mind. You need to, instead of going, you feel that, instead of thinking to yourself, you're feeling that discomfort, and you're thinking about what you'd like to have because you're missing it. You're thinking about what you're missing. It's better to think about and associate that discomfort with what you're accomplishing, not with what you're missing. Because as someone who is becoming a non-smoker, you're becoming all the positive things that go with being a non-smoker. And so you need to change your focus from what you're missing to what you're gaining. And that will make things easier for you. It doesn't make it easy, but it does make it easier. The whole process of stopping smoking is a fairly simple, straightforward process. Now, there are different ways of doing this. Cold turkey is one of the ways people do it. And that way can be, well, it can be the most difficult way because you're not getting any support. You're doing it all on your own. And if you don't have the mental chops, if you don't have all the tools that are necessary to really help you with this reframing of events, with the change in the emotional states that you're going through, it's all on you. You're going to feel everything fully. Now, I've worked with people many years, over 20 years now, helping them to stop smoking, as well as achieving other goals, actually much more important, powerful goals. And I say this because right now stopping smoking is probably the most important thing that you could possibly do. But once you get over that hurdle, there are mountains ahead of you. You know, there are so many more goals to reach, so many more peaks for you to achieve that are extremely pleasurable, that are wonderfully beneficial for you. At this point, if you're smoking, this is the first hurdle that you need to accomplish. It's a very important part of this process. So stopping smoking is something that's achievable for you. I've worked with many people over the last 20 years, helping them to stop smoking. And when I use the tools that I'm familiar with, that I'm an expert at, the hypnotic tools, it makes the process so much easier, so much quicker. Because actually you're having the support of a professional who can help you navigate the downsides. It can help you to reframe quickly, because hypnosis, as I mentioned earlier, is a set of tools. It is a tool that is capable of changing very quickly the way that you think, the way that you feel, and the way that you behave. And the way that you think is an example that I just mentioned today. Changing the way that you think. Instead of thinking about what you're missing out on or what you're losing, you change that thought to what you're gaining, what the benefits are, what you're becoming as a result of now no longer smoking. That's changing the way that you think. Changing the way that you feel, which happens very quickly with the tools of hypnosis, the way that I do it, is enabling you to feel fantastic, to feel all the joy and happiness, to feel all the positives that you could possibly feel, including whatever good feelings you were feeling when you used to smoke. So we take all those positive feelings because, quite frankly, as I mentioned earlier, your smoking created good feelings. It wasn't the smoking, it was your mind that actually created the feelings in response to the ritual of smoking. It wasn't the nicotine, it wasn't the drugs, it wasn't the tobacco, it wasn't any of that. It was your behaviors, your process, the ritual of smoking, bringing the cigarettes from here to there, tapping the pack down, lighting the cigarette, smelling it. It was all created by you. The responses were all created by you. Those feelings are inside you and they belong to you. So of course, as a hypnotist, I'm going to help you retain those feelings even as a non-smoker, and give you some way of accessing them so that you feel fantastic as a non-smoker. And then increase those feelings even more. Most of you, you're ready to stop smoking. Most of you really don't know why you smoke. You really kind of think you hate smoking. You really don't want to do it anymore. You're kind of disgusted with it. I feel your pain. It feels like you can't make the changes. And you know what? Maybe you're right. You can't make the changes on your own. So it's time to pick up the phone and give me a call. Get some help. Get some professional help. I'm available in New York City and online, worldwide, at 212-223-1832. My name is Mark Carlin. I'm the results hypnotist. I can help you stop smoking. Just give me a call. We'll set up a what we call a strategy session to even see whether you're ready to quit, to see whether working with me is a good idea for you. I don't know. You don't know. We won't know until we have our little consultation. So give me a call. Right now, my Stopping Smoking program, it represents a $350 savings over what it would normally cost to see me for the hours that I would work with you. So give me a call, take advantage of this great deal to stop smoking. You don't need to keep paying off a Mercedes-Benz that you're not paying for, that you're not even able to ride in. That's what a cigarette is costing you. My number is 212-223-1832. Feel free to like this video, share it with others, and comment. I appreciate all the comments, the likes, and I'm kind of enjoying this. I look forward to doing more. I appreciate you being here, and we will speak again. Take care. If you have anything that you'd like me to address, if you have any particular problems, if what I've been saying to you has been missing some of the points that you're feeling, give me a little note in the comments there, and I'll address them in future little lives, these Facebook Lives. Take care. Have a great evening and a great weekend, and see you soon. Good night.